Have you ever thought about how some of the biggest stories in history start with a promise that seems completely impossible? Well, today, we are diving deep into one of the most audacious promises ever made, the covenant between God and Abraham. We're going to explore how a new name, a physical sign, and a truly radical act of faith created a legacy that, honestly, still echoes today.
It all starts with this number, 99. Just let that sink in. This was Abraham's age when God appeared to him. Now, at 99 years old, the dream of having a child, let alone becoming the father of nations, isn't just a long shot. It's pretty much biologically impossible. And this isn't just some minor detail. It's the entire setup for the drama that's about to unfold. And then, right up against the stark reality of being 99, God drops this bombshell of a promise. Not just, hey, you'll have a son, but you will be the father of many nations. The scale of this is just huge, almost impossible to wrap your head around. It's this massive gap between human reality and divine promise that really sets the stage for everything. So the question is, how does the impossible even begin to happen?
Now, it's important to know that this encounter isn't actually the start of the story. It's more like a profound renewal. This is the moment when a promise that was already there gets reestablished, it gets deeper, and it's given a permanent, tangible form. Think of it like a fresh start in a very old relationship.
So what exactly is a covenant? Well, it's definitely not a business contract. In this world, a covenant is a really deep relational bond. It's a solemn agreement that involves incredible promises from God, but it also requires specific actions, obligations from people. It's all about building a relationship that's meant to last. So one of the first and most powerful parts of renewing this covenant was all about identity. God doesn't just hand over a promise, He gives a whole new destiny. And believe it or not, it all starts with something as simple as a new name.
And that's a fair question, right? I mean, why the big focus on names? To us, they're often just labels. But back then, a name was so much more. Your name was your essence, it was your character, and it was your future all rolled into one. Just look at the shift in meaning here. Abram's original name, Abram, means exalted father. It's a good name, very respectful. But his new name, Abraham, means father of many nations. See the change? It goes from being personal and respected to being global and world-changing. It's a whole new job description.
And this transformation wasn't just for him. His wife's name changes too. Sarai means my princess, which has a personal, almost possessive feel. But her new name, Sarah, means princess in a bigger, more universal way. And in this story, she becomes the mother of nations. Her identity expands right alongside his.
So this wasn't just some symbolic gesture. What God was doing was actually declaring a new reality into being. By giving them new names, He was literally giving them a new existence, a new purpose that would define not just them, but all of their descendants. It's a pretty powerful idea that your identity can be fundamentally changed.
But this whole covenant wasn't just about words and new names. It had to be something tangible, something you could see and feel. It needed a physical sign, one that would be literally engraved on the body.
And that sign was circumcision. It was a direct command from God, and it was meant to be a permanent, physical reminder of this unique relationship passed down through the generations. It was the outward sign of an inward promise, making the covenant a real, undeniable part of their identity. And this sign had so many layers of meaning. First, it was a demand for obedience, a physical action that proved their inner faith was real. Second, it was a symbol of separation, a way to visibly set apart the people of the covenant. And finally, it was a promise for the future, a mark carried through generations as a constant reminder that God keeps His promises. Okay, so we've got the promise, the new identities, and the physical sign. But what about the human part of this deal? A covenant is a two-way street, right? And this one demanded a really active faith in a future that was, for all intents and purposes, completely invisible. You see, faith in this story isn't just about mentally agreeing with an idea or passively believing something might happen. No, true faith, as it's shown here, is proven by what you do. These huge promises from God required a concrete, obedient response from Abraham.
So what did he do? Did he hesitate? Did he have doubts? Nope. The text says Abraham acted immediately. On the very same day he got this unbelievable promise and this pretty demanding command, he obeyed. He got his whole household together and did what was asked. That kind of speed shows a radical, all-in kind of trust.
All right, let's pull all these threads together.
We've seen the different pieces of the puzzle, but how do they all combine to turn a single promise to a 99-year-old guy into a legacy that literally shapes the world for thousands of years?
The whole foundation really rests on these 4 pillars. First, a new identity, one that was given by God, not earned. Then, a physical sign, a permanent mark of belonging. Third, active obedience, where what you believe turns into what you do. And finally, and this is the big one, accepting an unseen future as if it's already here.
And that is really the core takeaway of this entire story. Faith is the act of looking at an unseen future and accepting it as your present reality, and then living your life as if it's already true. That's exactly what Abraham did.
So as we wrap this up, it kind of leaves us with a question to think about. When you look at Abraham, 99 years old, being told he'd be the father of nations, it makes you wonder, what's the most impossible seeming promise in your own life today? And what would it look like to start acting as if it were already a reality?